Welcome to episode 1 of the Beyond Emissions podcast, brought to you by Soligent. Soligent, the largest pure-play solar distributor in the Americas. Go to soligent.net right now today and become a dealer. Join us in our mission of going beyond emissions, creating a world that is beyond emissions. How appropriate that we've got a podcast for you here called Beyond Emissions. That's our mission, creating an emissions-free future together by empowering our customers, our installer customers. You're listening right now. Whether you're an end user looking to get into renewable energy or solar, or you're an installer that is currently installing solar systems and you're looking and learning everywhere you can on how you can set up folks with that opportunity to be a part of this mission as well of creating a world that is beyond emissions. I know we can do it. We're changing the world together. One home, one business, one renewable energy system installed at a time. And we're doing it by empowering you, especially the installers and dealers that are listening to this podcast today here at the Soligent YouTube channel. By the way, check it out at the Soligent YouTube channel. That's Soligent, Soligent YouTube channel. Go there today, like our video, subscribe. Click the reminder bell in the corner as well so that you can be a part of this ongoing conversation to create a world that is beyond emissions. So we have so many educational videos there, and we're going to continue to bring you educational videos and audio clips and this podcast episode to help you to be, empowered. So you know how you can help your customer the best way. Because there's so many misconceptions in the world of renewable energy. And just, this one size fits all. This, like you go to a doctor, here's a pill, that'll fix everything. Lo and behold, it's just a sugar pill, right? At the end of the day, we're not going to give you a sugar pill. We're going to give you the information, the knowledge. Experts from around the world, our awesome installer customers will come on the program, people who get out into the field every single day installing renewable energy, solar, plus energy storage systems, etc., to make this dream of a world that is beyond emissions happen. And experts from around the world, our vendors and manufacturers and engineers, we're going to have a lot of great guests and a lot of fun discussing creating a world that is beyond emissions. And that's our mission here at the Soligent YouTube channel. Thanks for joining us again. Like our video, subscribe, and hit that reminder bell in the corner. Okay, our very first inaugural episode here at the Soligent YouTube channel for Beyond Emissions. Our first guest today, my friend, met him a couple weeks back and immediately knew that he was the guy in the trenches with you, the installer, the dealer, helping our customers to get renewable energy systems properly installed and also to stop mistakes from happening. That happens quite a bit in our business where, you got the guy with the clipboard coming around, hello, would you like solar? And they have no idea what you need, and they just sell you the wrong system that's not right for you. At Soligent, we don't want that to happen. We want to empower you to make sure, because every system is different. Everybody's energy storage needs are unique like their DNA. Joe Pizur on the program with us today. He sales technical support, but Joe, you wear so many other hats as well. Welcome to Beyond Emissions by Soligent here at the Soligent YouTube channel. Welcome to our podcast, Joe.
Well, thanks a lot. Hey, it's kind of funny. I never even listened to a podcast. Now I am one.
What are the odds, Joe?
So anyway, yeah, I'm Joe Pizur. I'm the technical support person here at Soligent, and I try to help people and get them on the right path. You mentioned, being in the trenches. I've been in the trenches for probably 20 years, and now I sit behind a desk and talk to folks like you and answer emails. Best to send me emails. They're better than phone calls. But nevertheless, so if you're jammed up on something and you need a little help with something, some suggestions as to equipment. I don't do because I believe there's liability issues to complete system design. I'm not a professional engineer. I know some stuff because I've been around a long time. So just by default, you have to pick something up. And but I help a lot of folks just get them on the right path, and if they're going the wrong direction, which I had a couple this morning that were going completely in the wrong direction, and just try to steer them back on the right path and get them going in the right direction. So that's so, pretty much what I do.
That's so important, Joe. Listeners, you're listening to Beyond Emissions, brought to you by Soligent, the largest pure play solar distributor in the Americas. You want great support like this in helping to empower your customers to get renewable energy and to help save our planet. You can join us at soligent.net. Become a dealer today. Look down into the details of our comment section and our description for this podcast episode and click that link to sign up and become a dealer. This is the kind of support you can get from Joe Pizur here at Soligent. There are a lot of folks who believe in the same mission we have, which is Beyond Emissions. By the way, before we get to that, you believe in that as well. You're on our team. That is our mission here, isn't it? Every month we talk about the amount of carbon we take out of the atmosphere with all of our installer partners and end users out there who get solar installed and energy storage installed. What does a world that is beyond emissions look like to you, Joe?
Well, I've been doing this for quite a long time, and like before even SMA was in this country, I was doing strictly off-grid stuff, and people asked me about that for many years, and I always looked at it like for every kilowatt hour of energy you can produce, that's maybe a shovel full of coal or maybe a gallon of diesel or some natural gas, however that's measured, I'm not sure. But anyway, that's stuff that doesn't have to get burned. So, we have PV modules. I live off of PV modules and wind. That's what's powering this phone right now. So it does work.
And you get energy independence. So Beyond Emissions isn't just the environment; it's energy independence, it's economic, it's freedom. There's so many aspects to it, right?
Yeah, and I when I had my shop, I had a shop for many years, and people would come in and then back then modules were a little pricier. They were $5, $6, $7 a watt, and people say, well, this costs a lot of money to do this stuff, and I said, yeah, but energy independence in my world means something and it has value. So it may cost something, to do this, but I prefer energy independence. So that's one reason why I live off grid.
It's better than renting your power, right? Isn't that what folks are doing when they're just straight up on the utility and not having solar or energy storage? It's like renting, right? You're just giving the money away every month and you don't get anything for it. Whereas you're kind of building up some equity, right?
Well, yeah, it's I don't know how the market is these days, to like resale, off-grid places typically are a problem because banks don't want to lend money to buildings that are off-grid. They didn't, and then they did, and now it may be coming back. It may be loosening up again. It's hard to say.
Yeah,
that's the banking industry. It's a different world,
Right.
But it's not like it's free, because you have batteries. I recently replaced batteries. They were fairly pricey. There's equipment. There's some maintenance. It's not a passive system. It's an active system. The more you participate in your system, the more you know about it, the better off you're going to be in an off-grid situation.
Ooh.
Because things happen sometimes, and you have to know what to do.
Let's talk about that. You mentioned at the top of the broadcast, by the way, Joe Pizur, he is a sales technical expert and support here at Soligent. Join us today at soligent.net. Become a dealer, the largest pure play solar distributor in the Americas. Welcome to the Beyond Emissions podcast. Our first guest today, Joe Pizur, a great team member, and he is on your team as well. He was helping a couple customers this morning. You mentioned it at the top of the Beyond Emissions podcast broadcast today. You were talking about how there were a few customers that were going in the wrong direction. By the way, this is the support you can get if you join us here at Soligent, installers and dealers. It's not one size fits all. It isn't going around with the clipboard and just selling it like you're selling milk. Everyone's energy needs are different and unique like their DNA. And thank God we've got folks like Joe that can help you get on the right track. So talk without going into personal specifics with these folks, just general wise, what are some of the common misconceptions, or what's the wrong path that you helped them to get off and get onto the right path with Soligent, Joe?
Well, and some folks will call, and lack of information makes for a problem. I get it from salespeople, who didn't get enough information from their client, or an install. Most of the time, installers who call me, I set them straight right away. But but it's lack of information. You want a battery-based system, which batteries are that's what's happening. And everybody's going to have batteries pretty soon, and it's going to be good for grid support, whether you're grid tied or off grid. You're going to have batteries. So people will say, well, I got a 2,000 square foot house and I want to run it off grid, and I don't run all that much stuff. What do I need? And I usually ask them, well, what color's your house? The information they gave me is about as useless as what color the house is. You need to know a load before you do anything, before you call anybody. You need to figure out what you need in kilowatt hours of energy. A load worksheet is the ideal way to do it. You need to know what your loads are and what your location is. How many peak sun hours do you get? If you're in Phoenix, or if you're in, I don't know, Wisconsin someplace, your sun hours are completely different. There's a lot different. Weather changes, and just, latitude is considerably different. So all these things make changes. So there's really two questions, like, what do you want to run, and for how long do you want to run it?
Yep.
And that's what you need to know the answers to.
That's it. It's math. It's math.
Not how many square feet are in your house. I don't care. It means nothing.
That's great for sizing carpet. An expert at Outback Power class once told me, Roy Nungen. He said that's great for sizing carpet. And what we need to do is we need to find out, just like Joe said, what do you want to run and how long do you want to run it? And if there's something you're not putting on your list just because you think that it doesn't matter, you have to understand that energy does not come from magic. Hold on just a second. I've got I'll get that later. I got my magic wand. Energy does not come from magic. It's all math, really, right? Joe Pizur with us from Soligent, on the Beyond Emissions podcast here at the Soligent YouTube channel. Like and subscribe. It's all math. It's energy in versus energy out, right, Joe?
Well, pretty much, yeah. And you calculate, like, how much do you need? How much autonomy are you looking for? And years ago, people would say, well, I'm sizing the system for 5 days of autonomy. Autonomy meaning, no sun, no input from any other outside sources. Well, I never really subscribed to that. Most people, if you're off grid, you're going to have a backup generator. That's just something you always have. And you got, in some cases, I just did a thing the other day for a guy with a railroad marker, some kind of off-grid railroad thing, and I guess lights come on, when the train's coming. Well, I want to make sure that thing's got plenty of autonomy. If there's clouds for a couple of days, you still want this thing to light up if a car's coming through, so they don't get run over by the train. So, so you have to tailor it to what it is, what the client needs, or what you think they need, and then of course you run it by them, you make sure everything is right. And usually, if people appreciate that, because they don't get it, that a couple panels just isn't going to do it sometimes.
Right.
You have to know what the loads are. Everything is dictated by loads. How much battery you need. That's how long your loads are going to run. What your loads are. How much is running at one time. To size the inverter, which will also include surges for like a well pump, starter motors. Even refrigerator has a certain surge, kind of not that big, not like a well pump. If you're trying to run a compressor, like an air conditioner, the load can be great on that. So you need to make sure you size your inverter properly and enough of battery so that it gets you through however long you want it to get you through. In a lot of cases, if you're a grid tied, outages, they may last a day, sometimes just a few hours. So you pick out, the things that are important that you need during an outage, like maybe a hot tub isn't really something you have to have during an emergency, or a clothes dryer. You probably have enough clothes to get you through a day. so you don't put them on your emergency backup panel.
Yes.
And you come up with your numbers, and from there, we figure it out. And when you get all done with it, add something. Add 10%. After you're sure you're not going to add anything else, add 10%.
Oh,
because you're going to add something else.
Yes.
People
okay.
don't realize it, but everybody lies.
Joe is
they say,
so
this
right.
is all I'm ever going to do.
Joe
and it's not true.
is right. Joe is right, folks. That what he just said is so correct. So if you're an installer that's listening to us, and you're just sizing based off of averages, and you're just taking and dividing by the peak sunlight hours, and that's the wattage of the PV array, you're doing that wrong. When an energy storage system is involved, you have to oversize for all of those losses. And generally speaking, that can mean the PV array might need to be 40% larger than it would need to be in a grid tie only scenario. And batteries, for example, oversizing, accounting for those potential loads that your customer's forgetting to tell you that will not come from magic. And lithium iron phosphate, which is the primary battery that's out there for the most part right now, as far as getting you the most longevity and the efficiency and quality that you need. And you can get all of these options at soligent.net. Go there today. Become a dealer with us, folks. We're Beyond Emissions Podcast at the Soligent YouTube channel. Joe Pizur with us right now. 80% depth of discharge for your lithium iron phosphate batteries, rather than just lasting the life of the warranty with 70% of the remaining capacity. You can oversize your battery by 20% larger than your customer's daily consumption, and account also a little bit more for those fudge factor loads that Joe was talking about. And now that battery is going to be at 70-80% of the remaining capacity in 20 years instead of 10 years, just lasting the warranty. The value you can give your customer by just sizing it right. Tell us, Joe, that is what it's all about, customization, right, my friend?
Well, yeah. They're all, I'm hearing that word these days a lot, customization. This is what we've always done. There's no one size fits all. Everybody wants a one size fits all. There's no such thing. You have two people living across the street from each other, and their load profiles are going to be different. What they do and how they live, and what they kind of stuff they have in their house, and they're different. They're always different. So everyone needs to have a load profile of some sort, and guessing is wrong. The odds are, if you guess, 99% of the time you're going to be wrong. And I say, I get calls once in a while and say, well, just take a shot at this. If somebody has to guess at it if they're going to guess, and it ain't going to be me. If you want to guess, you guess, because I'm not doing it. You're not coming back and say, well, Joe said this is going to work, because I know it isn't going to work.
Yeah. I mentioned Roy Nungen, an expert from the Outback Power class that taught me years back, and he's just like you. Same mindset. You're absolutely correct. You and Roy, same exact mindset. He said, okay, let's walk through this. If we have to guess, then we have to always guess on the high side, which means we need to take the amperage of your total electrical panel, and we need to turn that into kilowatts. And we need to build it based off of everything running at once. Well, that's insane. Then that would be way oversized. Yeah, but that's what we have to do if you're going to ask us to guess. We cannot pull it out of a magic hat. If you're going to sell energy storage and solar the right way, you have to do it the way Joe's describing. You have to take the time. It does require some homework, but at the end of the day, you're going to gain the trust of your customer base, and you're going to differentiate yourself, because you're not going to have a bunch of failures and callbacks and going back out to the job site because it's not working and powering the whole house like the commercial promised. We're not doing that here. Customization is key, and Joe Pizur from Soligent works with customers every single day, just like you installers and dealers who are listening to the Beyond Emissions podcast. There's only one right way to size solar plus energy storage and help people to empower them in this Beyond Emissions future that we're trying to build together. The only right way to do it, and in the long run, get more sales, is to be unbiased and be willing to do the work. It requires a little bit of patience, right, Joe?
Yeah, it does. And don't show up without the information, because I get that. And like a salesperson will call me and say, I got a customer who wants this and that. And well, okay. And then I start asking questions. What, do you have a load profile? No. Where are they located? I don't know. And all of the questions. They have a well pump. Are there any high surge loads? All of these seemingly minor things are critical. Without them, you can't do it right.
Yep.
So, and without enough information initially, it just makes a problem. Now the salesperson who calls me, who doesn't have the information, has to go back to the client. Oh, I forgot something. Where are you located? Oh, geez, I forgot something. Do you have a well pump? Oh, geez, I forgot something. Now all of a sudden they're pissed off because you're calling them 15 times. Do it all in one shot. Maybe make a form, These are the questions I have to ask,
Yeah.
This is the information I need. Nobody's going to be able to help me without the information.
That's what we need from you.
Critical.
If you're listening to us right now, you're an installer, you're a dealer, you're interested in joining us here at Soligent, or you're already with us, the way for you to help your customers and helping us to empower you and your customers to build this beyond emissions future together with renewable energy, solar plus energy storage, is to size it right. And the only way to do that up front is a load evaluation. So get a list of the name and wattage of every electrical load they want to run and how many hours or minutes they want to run each load on a max use day, not an average. This is not grid tie only, or maybe it is and you just want to, but we still need to know what are the loads you want to back up in the critical loads panel and how many watts each of those loads are. And we still need to know how many hours or minutes you want each of those loads to run on a max use day. It's not magic. It is kind of magical, electricity. I do, if you're an installer or an electrician, you obviously have a mind that understands electric. And so you understand electrical concepts and how magical it kind of is. Tesla, Edison, very cool. But the math of it never changes. We still need to know energy in versus energy out. I'm coming up on the hard break right now. Joe Pizur, okay. Amazing what you've done already in helping customers. 2 already this morning, steering them off the wrong path and putting them on the right path. This is the kind of support that you get from Joe Pizur, our sales technical support expert here at Soligent. If folks want to become a dealer, you can go down and click the link in the description to join us and become a Soligent dealer today. Go in the comments section and let us know you want to become a dealer with us so that you can partner with us in creating this world that is beyond emissions. But if you have any technical questions and you'd like to reach out to us, Joe Pizur is available as our representative along with others here at Soligent. Joe, how can people reach out to you and just talk to you and ask you a few questions if they need to?
Well, the best way to do it is send an email. That's the best. The email is the best. It's Joe Pizur @soligent.net. That's the best way to do it. Phone calls are okay, but we have to keep in mind here. We have 40 plus salespeople that I'm here to support. There's one of me. So so sometimes you have to be patient, and sometimes people will call on a phone and want me to fire off answers, and I can't do that. And a lot of times I won't do it because I'm afraid I got too much other stuff going on, and I'll make a mistake, and then you'll get wrong information.
But these deals,
say, well, I thought this guy knew.
These deals are thousands and thousands and thousands and sometimes millions of dollars, though, folks, as far as an investment that your customers are making if you're an installer dealer. So it is worth having the patience to have it done right. Don't you love that integrity? That integrity is what we're all about. We don't claim to know it all, but we're able to connect you with the right solutions and the right vendors and the right options from the menu, be able to do the math or help you at least direct you in the math that we need you to do to get us the information that we need. And sometimes that, like Joe's saying, that requires patience. But you know what? Like my grandpa used to say, Joe, good things come to those who wait, Josh. It's still true with this, huh?
Yes, it is. Yeah, and it does, and it takes a little effort. It's not. And folks, sometimes I get a lot of stuff where folks appear to me to just be lazy, and well, I don't really want to go through all of the trouble. I'll just ask, call me and ask me, what's the answer, and I don't know the answer, and like I said before, I'm not guessing. I don't do that.
Yep.
So if you want to guess, you guess, and
Well, we're not going to put you through rigmarole. We're going to be honest with you listeners. We're going to give you an opportunity to know what information we need to help you with that. We are not going to guess. Joe's right. We're going to help you find out because the math never lies. There is no such thing as guessing, hoping, and praying. The math never lies. Once we get the information from you and determine it's accurate, then we'll be able to line you up with the exact materials that you need to help your customer have a successful project. Joe Pizur, Soligent specialist and also as well technical support expert here at Soligent. Thank you so much for being on the Beyond Emissions podcast today, my friend.
But you mentioned expert. I'm no expert. I'm not an expert at anything. If you are, be careful because those experts, they know everything. So, so be wary of experts. Mm-hmm. I happen to know a couple of things. I've been around for a while. And and what I do is I'll make suggestions as to, in my opinion, what, based on your situation, whatever it may be, what I think is, appropriate equipment. And some of it could be based on particularly your experience, how much experience you have with certain equipment. Some equipment is fairly complicated and it's hard to use. For a novice, some of the stuff will be a nightmare, and some of it will be fairly easy. So, I look at that and I try to gauge all of these things.
I love it. I love it, and that's the humility that anyone who's an expert. Who says I'm an expert. The fact is they probably aren't. You love to work with people with that kind of humility, listeners, because you can trust them and their judgment is for your best outcome always, and never ever trying to overpromise and underdeliver, but underpromise and overdeliver. I love it. Joe Pizur from Soligent, Thank you so much. Hang on the line for our engineer, sir. Beyond Emissions podcast, right here at the Soligent YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining us today. We'll be right back after these messages. By the way, make sure you like this video and subscribe. Hit the reminder bell so you can be a part of the ongoing conversation and helping us to create a world that is beyond emissions.
We at Soligent are incredibly excited to announce our partnership with GivePower. Well, we wouldn't be here today talking to you about GivePower if it wasn't for our partners, LoanPal. They've been with GivePower since the beginning. Their contribution has given water and light to countless people across the globe. We are truly inspired by LoanPal's dedication to the cause. Something LoanPal said really strikes a chord regarding GivePower, that this is something that's more than money. It's what makes making money more worthwhile. In a lot of ways, that's synonymous with what we're doing here at Soligent.
Here's how you can help.
What we've decided to do is compound LoanPal's contribution by donating to GivePower on every order paid via our direct pay program through LoanPal. That's right. Every time your company uses your LoanPal portal to pay Soligent for material, 5 people get clean drinking water for a full year.
Together we're stronger.
Together, we can choose to be extraordinary by giving to people who live outside our reach. To us, this means a lot.
Soligent's purpose meets GivePower's mission. Join the impact. Soligent, Solar Engine. SolarEngineSolutions.com. Go there to find out more. Thanks for joining us again, Beyond Emissions Podcast. I'm Josh Brum, your host, Energy Storage Manager here at Soligent, the largest pure-play solar distributor in the Americas. Beyond Emissions is brought to you by Soligent. And of course, our experts from around the world that will come and join us on the program, including folks like Joe Pizur, technical sales support. I consider him an expert. What a good dude. That's the type of support that you're going to get to help steer you from going in the wrong direction, to help you go on the right road and the right direction. Energy in versus energy out. That's what solar and energy storage is all about. But we're not just making money here. We're creating a world that is beyond emissions. Welcome to the Beyond Emissions podcast, where that is our mission. And if you're a partner with Soligent, a dealer, great. You're already hand in hand with us, and we look forward to continuing to create this world that is beyond emissions. But if you're not a dealer or installer working with Soligent, you need to be. Join us. Go to the link in the description to sign up and become a Soligent dealer today. Like this video and subscribe to our Soligent YouTube channel. Hit the reminder bell in the corner. We look forward to helping people out there, empowering them. We're changing the world, one renewable energy system, one solar system, one energy storage system at a time. We're really changing the world. We're making a difference together right here, creating a world that is beyond emissions. Okay, my next guest on the Beyond Emissions podcast is my good friend. You know, I've done a lot of work with him in the past, and I'm like, you know what, got Joe on today. I want to get Tom on. Tom Sbrega from Sbrega Electric. He's out of Coors Gold, California, which is basically like the gateway, if you will, to the Great Yosemite National Park. So if you ever come through Fresno, California, and you drive up and take a trip up there to Yosemite, you're going to drive right through Coors Gold, California, and you're going to drive right by, as you're driving through Coors Gold, right on the left-hand side as you enter the town, Sbrega Electric is a local superstar as it pertains to helping customers create their world that is beyond emissions with solar plus energy storage solutions. And Tom also lives off the grid as well. Happy to have you here. Happy to have you on our team helping to create a world that is beyond emissions. You're also a dealer with Soligent. Thank you so much for joining us on the program today, Tom.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
As we've talked about in the past, our listeners don't know, though. You know, a lot of solar companies out there and installers, they might be selling energy storage, but they don't live off the grid. Talk a little bit real quick to our listeners about, you know, how you got into this. It was by creating your own system, right?
Yeah, about 10 years ago, I bought property up in Coors Gold with a friend, about 5 acres, and PG&E wanted $10,000 plus to bring in power to our property, and we decided to go a different route. We decided to buy solar panels, charge controllers, batteries, inverter, and figure out on our own how to do all of this stuff. And that's what piqued my interest in it. And over the 10 years, it quickly became a career choice of mine. And I worked with different companies and started my own company about 5 years ago. January will be our 5th year anniversary for Sbrega Electric, and we specialize in solar and battery backup and off-grid solutions.
Now, we had Joe on. Joe Pizur is our technical support expert here at Soligent. And I had him on first because, you know, our goal is creating a world that is beyond emissions. And the way that we're doing that is empowering installers and dealers and working with installers and dealers like yourself to empower customers out there to help along with that mission as well. And, you know, beyond emissions, we talked about it with Joe, and I'd like your take on it. Beyond emissions, you know, it is the environment. We're taking carbon out of the air. That's something we don't have to burn. That's oil we don't have to buy from Saudi Arabia or our enemies maybe around the world, right? That's a whole host of different things that are benefits in a world that is beyond emissions, the environment, national security, the economy. But one of the things that folks don't really think about is really truly having freedom. It's an American principle, energy independence. What does beyond emissions mean for you, Tom?
Yeah, we're very happy to be part of this movement. I mean, if you're gonna put your life into something and work hard, it's great to know that it's gonna have a difference in the future and make a positive difference and an influence as time goes on. But yeah, it's a big deal. I mean, people are breaking away from the utility companies. We have many off-grid customers that are 100% off-grid that we're working with, and these are builders that are building their houses from scratch and have decided from the very beginning to not even include the utility company in their design. So we're starting straight from scratch to do solar and renewable energy and batteries, and that is really amazing because this is something that even 10 years ago when I started it, it was kind of it was more difficult. The equipment wasn't there, the technology wasn't there, the support wasn't there. It's much different now. I mean, when I started, I was doing lead acid batteries that I'm filling up with water, checking the specific gravity every couple months. This isn't something that you have to worry about anymore. These systems are contained and maintenance free. And with these lithium batteries, they can last 20, 25 years. So you really are saving money going off grid right from the start. And you can set it up so that there's no inconvenience to your life if it's all designed properly. So we are entering a whole new world now where we can really eliminate those emissions like you're talking about right from the beginning of our designs.
That's beautiful. I love what you said. Tom Sbrega from Sbrega Electric. Check him out, sbregaelectric.com. Go there today. He's an awesome installer. Also partnered up with Soligent as a dealer. If you'd like to become a Soligent dealer, go to soligent.net, become a dealer, or click on the Become a Dealer link down below in our description. Thanks for joining us. Beyond Emissions podcast, brought to you by Soligent, the largest pure play solar distributor in the Americas. And of course, like this video, subscribe, hit the reminder bell in the corner so you can be a part of this ongoing conversation. Tom Sbrega from Sbrega Electric in Coors, California. California is a whole nother animal. Our podcast is heard around the world. And so every, person that might be listening in a different part of the country, most of our listeners, some are end users, but a lot of them are installers just like you. Speak to what you mentioned a second ago, talking to our installers that are listening and our solar dealers that are listening right now. You said size it correctly, right? Up front, sized correctly. That's a caveat. I think there's a, if you're just doing grid tie only solar and you're getting into this energy storage thing, there's an assumption you can just do, we'll just offer this or we'll offer that. But that's not right, correct? It's got to be customized, right, Tom? Talk a little bit about that.
Oh, yeah, definitely. There's a huge misconception that you can just throw the battery on and it's one size fit all. That is not how it is at all. Every situation is different. You prioritize what you want in your life as far as energy use goes. When you're designing for a new home, it's great because then you can make all those decisions in the beginning. Most of our customers already have a house, of course, and we do battery backup so that the grid's constantly going out in Madera and Mariposa County where most of our business is. So battery backup is a huge thing because, the inconvenience of blackouts is a very serious factor that people call us about. And so when we're designing with a house that's already there, we're looking at what you're using and what we can back up. So the beauty of it is that now we have technology that has power there's so much power in these new inverters that you can run pretty much any large device that you can think of. We're starting up giant ACs where we used to put soft starts on them and easy starts, and now we can do it with the inverter's power itself. And to add to that, there's load management devices that everyone's coming out with, different companies, and these load management devices can prioritize your loads so that certain ones go on at certain times, and if it doesn't, and you can prioritize it, of course, so you can decide what's more important. So you really can have your whole house backed up, which wasn't possible even a few years ago, where we had to pick and choose certain circuits to put on the battery load. And so now it's really, each year I get blown away with the technology that they're coming out with.
Oh, and Solarc inverters. I think they're the best inverters in the universe, personally, just because of the flexibility and customization and the power that they offer. Solarc is available from Soligent. If you want to become a dealer, folks, be like Tom and customize systems and give your customer that power as well. Solarc's amazing. You can get it from Soligent, folks. Again, be a dealer from Soligent. Go down to the link and sign up to become a dealer today. Tom at Sbrega Electric is a partner with us in helping empower customers to get that power and helping create a world of independence that is beyond emissions. You're helping folks do that. And Solarc, what an amazing, just the diverse ways that you can offer different solutions with one inverter for your customers. You sell a lot of Solarc 15Ks now, right? That's what you're talking about, correct?
Yeah, Solarc is my favorite. I mean, the Solarc 15K, when that came out, that was just mind-blowing. It has an internal 200 amp transfer switch, which is amazing. You can run your whole house through it, and we haven't found a device we can't start. I mean, the biggest 5-ton, 6-ton ACs, this thing's starting up no problem. So with the 12K was a very powerful Solarc also, but with the ACs, we used soft starts. With this one, we don't even have to do that. I mean, the thing is just amazing. It's 15,000 watts when the sun's out. If it's just on battery backup at night, it can still do 12,000 watts. 12,000 watts is a tremendous amount of power. So, I mean, our power issues have pretty much disappeared with that new inverter. It's really something.
Yeah, and the PV array you're allowed to have. Yeah, you don't have to have additional charge controllers or anything like that. For the Solarc 15K, you can actually, it's got MPPT built in. I mean, you can land a lot of PV array right into the Solarc converter, right?
Oh, it's phenomenal. I mean, you can do, I think, 19,000 on the DC and another 19 on the AC coupled side. So you can have an incredible amount of solar power on one inverter. I mean, I can't even imagine a residential system that would require more. It's really amazing.
Yeah. And one of the great things about Solarc converters, which again are available here at Soligent, find the link in the description to become a dealer and get Solarc converter solutions from us today, just like Tom. The Solarc converter, you can actually start a customer off to be grid tie only and go back and add batteries later. Most battery-based inverters don't allow you to do that, huh?
Yeah. It's versatile in that way, where you can, and it's very, with the Solarc, you can use so many different kinds of batteries. I mean, it's just any 48 volt battery on the market, pretty much you can use with this inverter. So it's really a great choice for some people who already have systems too. Sometimes you can swap it out and use your batteries and get the life out of them. You don't have to change them out right away. So there's a lot of advantages.
Now, what about adding a generator into the mix? I happen to know Tom from Sbrega Electric with us, Beyond Emissions podcast, brought to you by Soligent. Like this video, subscribe, hit the reminder bell in the corner so you can continue to be a part of our conversation, ongoing conversation in creating a world that is beyond emissions. Tell our installer and solar dealer listeners that are tuning in right now about how you actually, how do you go about doing that, offering a generator plug with each of these installations? Are you still doing that? Last I heard you were.
Yeah, there's a generator input built into the Solarc. There's also a 2-wire start built into the Solarc. So these are things that a lot of times you have to buy separate, or you used to have to buy separate with different companies. So this one's already built in. So if you have a generator with a 2-wire start, which most of them do, if they don't, they pretty much all have a 2-wire start. So that 2-wire start will allow the Solarc to be the brains of the system. So it will turn on the generator when it needs to and charge up the batteries again. So when you're living off-grid, the inconvenience of living off-grid used to be managing your power and running outside and starting the generator if you have to, and all of this stuff that now you can live just normal. I mean, you can just live your normal life. And with this new technology, you can let the system be the brains and decide when it needs the generator. So if you don't have a hardwired, hard plumb generator, we always include a generator inlet that we hook up to that terminal, so that if you have a portable standby generator, you can plug in pretty much any generator. And in the case, because if you're doing battery backup, there's a chance you'll never need the generator. But if you just had the perfect storm where it's bad weather, overcast, and you had a blackout, and that blackout lasts more than a day or two, there is a chance that your batteries would get low. So that generator inlet would allow you to plug in a generator and charge the batteries back up, which is a great feature.
That's what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. Tom Sbrega from Sbrega Electric. He's a partner with Soligent. Folks, you should join us here at Soligent. Right, Tom? If you're an installer out there in America, installing and getting your customers empowered to live in a world that's beyond emissions with solar and energy storage. Soligent's a great partner, right?
Oh, they are. Yeah, we've been ordering from Soligent since the beginning for 5 years. We've been working with Soligent. Whenever we need certain things, we always give them a call first. Yeah.
That's what I love. I love the unbiased opinion of an expert right there. Folks, follow his lead. Join us at Soligent. Become a dealer today. And by the way, if you are an end user who is thinking about getting energy storage and you're in the Central California area, reach out to Sbrega Electric. Tom, I've got to let you go with our engineers. Before we do that, though, let our listeners know how they can contact you and get solutions from Sbrega Electric.
Yeah, I mean, you can contact us straight through our website, which is SbregaElectric.com. That's S as in solar, B as in battery, REGA, SbregaElectric.com. Or SbregaSolar.com might be easier to remember. That takes you to the same website. Our office phone number is 559-961-9793. And you can give us a call. We always do a free first draft design and proposal, free of charge. So you have that. And there's, if you're curious, it's the best way to get started. And from that first design, we can work on that to meet your needs and to get everything perfected and give you an official proposal.
That's what I'm talking about, customized and helping create a world that is beyond emissions. Thanks for being my friend and our partner here at Soligent, Tom. God bless you, brother. Hang on the line for our engineers. And again, folks, 559-96, 961-9793? I think I have that memorized. Memorize that, folks. That's a great number to call, especially because, like you said, you'll do a first draft just if someone's curious, which is a great way to do it. Instead of just throwing a quote at someone, you're actually investing some time and energy to figure out the right answers to give them not just a ballpark that's way off, but something that's actually accurate. I love that, man. Awesome. Hang on the line for engineers, Tom, and thank you very much, Sbrega Electric, for helping us in creating a world that is beyond emissions. Be right back.
We at Soligent are incredibly excited to announce our partnership with Give Power. Well, we wouldn't be here today talking to you about Give Power if it wasn't for our partners, LoanPal. They've been with Give Power since the beginning. Their contribution has given water and light to countless people across the globe. We are truly inspired by LoanPal's dedication to the cause. Something LoanPal said really strikes a chord regarding Give Power, that this is something that's more than money. It's what makes making money more worthwhile. In a lot of ways, that's synonymous with what we're doing here at Soligent.
Here's how you can help.
What we've decided to do is compound LoanPal's contribution by donating to Give Power on every order paid via our direct pay program through LoanPal. That's right. Every time your company uses your LoanPal portal to pay Soligent for material, 5 people get clean drinking water for a full year.
Together we're stronger.
Together, we can choose to be extraordinary by giving to people who live outside our reach. To us, this means a lot.
Soligent's purpose meets Give Power's mission. Join the impact. Soligent, Solar Engine. SolarEngineSolutions.com. Go there to find out more. Beyond Emissions Podcast. Our mission here at Soligent, the largest pure-play solar distributor in the Americas, is to create a world that is beyond emissions. And we're doing that together. And so thankful for Joe Pizur joining us today, Tom Sbrega from Sbrega Electric. And right now, as we end the broadcast, I've brought in a regional account manager, Lamis Abboushi. Forgive me if I said that wrong. Lamis, welcome to Beyond Emissions. Appreciate you being here. Did I say that correct, your last name?
Yes, Lamis Abboushi, you did great.
Oh, fantastic.
Thank you for the invite.
I love it. Hey, people call me up. Hello, Mr. Broom. Who's Mr. Broom? Josh Brum. That's my name. And I work with Lamis, folks. Thanks for joining us, Lamis. is a partner with us here in helping empower you and your customers. We're talking to installers and dealers that are listening to this Beyond Emissions podcast right here at the Soligent YouTube channel. Folks, like this video and subscribe, hit the reminder bell. Also, the link down in the description so that you can sign up and become a Soligent dealer today. We only have a few minutes, Lamis, but I'm so glad you took some time out of your busy day to get on this podcast with us, because there's a lot of misconceptions. You know, sometimes the Tesla solution is right for people, but at the end of the day, energy storage is customizable. Everybody's energy consumption is different. Everybody's needs are different, and the one size fits all doesn't work for everyone. And we take that approach at Soligent in creating a customized solution. You actually worked there previously at Tesla, and now you're working here. You know the difference. You see the difference every single day in the solutions and the myriad of different options that we're able to offer our customers here at Soligent that can actually meet more people's needs, right, Lamis?
I started with Tesla, and I am super, super excited to see the growth and changes in the storage world and all the opportunities that we have, and a better custom fit for all the customer needs have changed. Also, our expectations and our knowledge in storage has grown as well, and we're super excited to be working with you, Josh, to help us with some of that information as well.
Excellent. And Lamis works with installers and dealers like you who are listening to Beyond Emissions podcast right now, out of Central California primarily. And she has the ability to connect you with the right solutions that are customizable to meet each and every single one of your customers' independent energy needs. In the world that we're living in, the mission that we have in creating this podcast is called Beyond Emissions. Our mission here at Soligent is to create a world that is an emissions-free future. And we talk about that every month, don't we? We have leaders on our calls that actually say, it's great, we're doing well, we've got great sales, we're successful. Well, let's talk about this. Let's talk about how much carbon we've taken out of the atmosphere in partnership with our installer customers. It's a deeper mission here than just making money, isn't it, Lamis?
It always has been. I've been in the solar industry for almost a decade, and every day was a joy to get up and make that impact and change. Not just for homeowners, but environmentally, we are making changes, and every month our CEO lets us know exactly where we stand and all the changes we made. So we celebrate the changes more than the sales. And that tells you where I'm with the right company doing the right thing for the right reason. So it's awesome.
If you would like to join us here at Soligent, definitely reach out to us via the link below. Click on that in the description of this video, of this podcast link. In the description in order to join us and become a dealer. Reach out to us at soligent.net. Research us. Check us out. We've got the right culture here, doing things for the right reason, not just making money, but we also want to help you and your customers become energy independent, which helps you and your customers as well in the pocketbook, right? Solar energy storage, it's great for the environment, beyond emissions. That's what it means, but it also means energy and economic independence, right? No longer being dependent on the grid for all your power. There's a lot of economic independence and empowerment that comes along with this beyond emissions world as well. Right, Lamis?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And just to touch base on, you talked about the culture. I came from two of the largest companies, as far as doing solar. When I was introduced to this team at Soligent, I was super excited to make the transition, and for the sheer fact that I could work with dealers that need our support. They're not as big as the big dogs, but they are super significant to us and to building the relationship throughout California, making sure they have what they need so they can continue on their mission to make the big impact changes. So I just wanted to give a shout out to them. Out in the field meeting individual companies has been an extreme humbling process for me, knowing how hard they're working and how they're competing and all of the support that they need. We're super excited to be here. If they choose us, please do reach out, and we'll see what we can do to help you.
And then let's give a quick shout out as well. It's our awesome team that make things happen. You're a regional account manager, and you have some account managers that are out there empowering installer customers every single day. Give them a round of applause. Name a few of them, if you will, and the great job that they're doing here at Soligent and helping us create this Beyond Emissions future.
We have a super fantastic team. It's a large number of people. I work directly under Weston Powell. We have account managers, Mike Tardell. We have Vicky. We have Bruce. We have, I don't want to miss anyone, Mike Hahn. And throughout the nation, there's many more that are working very hard every day, and I just am amazed at what they accomplish. I do want to say the most important reason why I joined Soligent is our management team. They are so supportive, and every day they wake up to say, what can we do better to support our customers and give them the service that they need? And I literally mean every single day we meet and we talk about roadblocks in our industry. So I am super, super blessed to be working underneath this huge staff and super supportive staff.
And you can also join our team. We're looking for great stars and talent out there that want to also join a great culture like we have here at Soligent in helping create this emissions-free future. We do have openings around the country right now, don't we?
We absolutely do. We are growing every day. Every month we have a meeting introducing us to new talent that is onboarded. A lot of us come from the same history. Some of us come from the same family. So we've been working together over this decade, been so blessed to be able to join same management teams that have progressed and grown and have chosen Soligent. We are super excited to be onboarding new talent and ultimately nurturing the talent that we have.
Lamis Abboushi, the regional account manager for Central California, United States of America, Soligent, the largest pure play solar distributor in the Americas. And our podcast here at the Soligent YouTube channel. Like this video, subscribe, hit the reminder bell. If you're listening to us on Spotify as well, we're setting up our podcast elsewhere so you can take us on the road when you're headed to the job site, and you can listen to entertainment, but also education that's fun and memorable. We're going to have experts from around the world. Lamis, you are fantastic. You're a great leader in our company, and I'm so thankful that you're on our team. Hang on the line for our engineers, Lamis. Actually, real quick, if folks want to reach out to Soligent, what's the best way to do that? Or if they're in the Central California area and they're looking forward to partnering with Soligent to help us create this emissions-free future that is beyond emissions, how can they reach out to you, Lamis?
They can reach out through our website. They can call me direct. I'm at 510-754-4156. They can definitely look us up. We are around. They can talk to their partners who worked with us and connect with us that way. Any which way that they feel comfortable doing, they're free to do. But again, I am at 510-754-4156. I would be glad to take their calls.
Excellent. Lamis, thanks so much. Hang on the line for our engineers and have a beautiful day. And thanks for...
Thank you.
Oh, you're the best teammate. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate you.
Right on. That's the team we have here at Soligent. Soligent, the largest pure play solar distributor in the Americas. We're at the Soligent YouTube channel, our podcast. Like these videos. Also as well, coming up on Spotify. Take the podcast with you, headed out to the job site, want something to listen to, want to learn, want to have fun. Join us. Join us in our mission of creating a world that is beyond emissions. It's not just the environment. It's also creating economic freedom and independence for your customers, empowering them. And doing it in a customized way, differentiating yourself versus all the other players out there by actually caring about what's right for each and every single customer. And we can help you find a customized solution with all of our choices, inverters, energy storage solutions and different options, solar panels, all of the electrical in-house financing. It's amazing. Join us as a dealer today. Click on the link below in the description to join us as a dealer, a partner right here, an installer partner with us at Soligent. We'd love you to come on the team. We're working hard every single day, and we know you are as well. Thanks for tuning in. This is episode 1, and we thank you so much for helping making us number one, your number one. That's what it's all about. taking care of you, our customers. We appreciate you so much in helping us and joining us in creating a world that is beyond emissions. This is the Beyond Emissions podcast, right here at the Soligent YouTube channel. Like this video, subscribe, hit the reminder bell, and share with your friends. Help us, join us in creating a world that is beyond emissions. Have a great day. Thanks for tuning in.